I don't use toilet paper, and you don't need to either. And today I'm going to talk about the different types of bidets that are out there, and even give you a way that you can use a bidet with things that you just have around the house. That'll be fun. As I film this, there is some stuff happening. People are fighting over toilet paper, people are freaking out, and it doesn't have to be that way. Bidets are better than toilet paper in a lot of different ways. Not only will they help you out in the event of a catastrophe, it also is better for your home's plumbing. It's better for you hygienically. It cleans you more than paper would. You're just spreading poop around, guys. But if you use a bidet, you're actually cleaning yourself. And it's better for the environment. I have figures here. 36 billion rolls of toilet paper are used in North America each year, and one tree on average can make 1,500 rolls of toilet paper. If you do the math, that means that each year 24 million trees are cut down in order for us to wipe our butts. And if all of that doesn't convince you, well, toilet paper costs money and bidets don't. If you get a bidet, you don't need to buy toilet paper anymore, or you don't have to buy as much of it anymore if you want to still use it sometimes. Toilet paper costs like 50 cents to $1 for a roll, so that's what, like 75 bucks a year, let's say, per person. That adds up. It's not that much, but if you get a bidet, that's one-time investment. You spend, depending on which one you get, you can get one that is actually less than that, and then you don't have to buy toilet paper ever again. There are a lot of different types of bidets out there. Probably the most common one that people would think about is like the one that would sit in the bathroom next to your toilet. So you use your toilet and then you go and hop over onto the bidet. It's got little knobs like a sink, and water shoots up, cleans your butt. The one that I have is a Japanese bidet, or what would be called like a washlet, and this one fits on top of your toilet bowl. It either comes with a seat or it screws into your toilet before you put on the seat. Water that would be going into the tank is split before it gets to the tank. It's not dirty water, it's just coming out of the wall. And that will go up into the washlet and then come out from the back when you're sitting on it. So the more advanced ones will have all sorts of fun functions on it. Like mine has a few functions on it, but there are also really, really basic ones that are just a dial. And you turn that dial and it just will spray the water up. It's usually cold water, so you gotta deal with that, but otherwise those are a very economical and easy one to install. The next one that I'm going to talk about is the hand bidet. Now, hand bidets are something that are ubiquitous in Malaysia and Singapore. You'll see these everywhere. Even public bathrooms will have this. And sometimes you'll go into a bathroom and they won't actually have a roll of toilet paper at all. They'll have this. So you use this. And it's like the sprayer for your kitchen sink. It hooks in the same way a washlet will, from the same water source. However, you have a separate hose, and you take that hose and you put it behind yourself and spray don't turn that into a GIF. And you spray your butt with that thing, and that will clean you off. Then you have portable bidets. And the ways that this works is you have some sort of water receptacle, and then you have a little spout. You could actually get things that screw onto the top of a bottle of water and use that. And you put water in this thing and you squeeze it and you spray your butt with that just by hand, and then you can get cleaned that way. These ones are probably the best method that if you just want something for emergencies. Let's say there is a toilet paper shortage. You can't get toilet paper, you'll at least have this option like in your closet or something in case of that. Or if you want something when you're traveling, if you're going camping, this would be a very convenient thing, especially if you just get like that little screw-on thing. You could just like fill that thing with water and there you go, you're fine. If you are in a urgent situation right now, if you're like sitting on a toilet right now, watching this on your phone, being like, I don't know what to do, stay calm. I mean, first of all, you can just like hop in the shower. I won't tell anybody. You can clean yourself that way. Second way, you can also get a empty bottle, like a shampoo bottle is especially good because it's got that little spout at the top. You open that up, I mean, fill it with water, don't use shampoo. Fill that with water, open that spout, and if you turn it upside down, it's gonna shoot horizontally and with enough of a stream where it will work to get you clean. So you take one of those guys, you turn it back behind you, you squeeze that. Again, don't gift that. And you can spray your butt that way. You can also get creative. There's a lot of DIY ways of creating your own bidet using things you may have at home. You could do that. 75% of the world does not use toilet paper. What most people use is water, and what they'll do is they'll have a bucket by their toilet and they'll have like a little smaller scooper of some kind. You take water out of the bucket and you kind of like splash it at your butt. I'm not going to go into the gory details of how this is done, but if you look online for how to use a toilet in India, for instance, you will find a lot of different ways of doing this. Hey guys, and welcome to my bathroom. Yeah, so I'm going to show you my toilet here. Yeah, if you ever wondered what does my toilet look like, there you go. Here are my shower curtains. Every now and then I'll go to take a shower, there'd be like a little person in there dancing. It's kind of weird, but otherwise, bathroom is pretty normal. I do have toilet paper, okay? Like, I do buy it. However, I do not buy very much of it, and I don't use it. So this is pretty much for other people. Because, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I don't like using squat toilets. And people who use squat toilets, they don't want to use a Western toilet. It's just like what you're comfortable with. But once you start using a bidet, it's kind of difficult to go back. It makes more sense. It's more hygienic, all those things I told you already. Reading material, by the way, is Wicked Plants and Michelle Remembers. Those are perfect toilet books. It is just your basic model of washlet. Some of them have, like, it'll play music if you push a button, or it will mimic the sound of a flush. So you just push that fake flush sound over and over again so people can't hear your noisy poops. That's what that is for. And the music as well, there's stuff like that. Mine does not have any audio, except for one weird thing. Whenever I open up the seat, it does talk.
私は地獄にいます。助けて.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. But otherwise, it is your basic toilet here. And yeah, you may notice that this one has the control panel on the left side here. That is one option. The other option is to have one that actually attaches to the wall. So it's like a remote control for the toilet instead. You can have secret agent toilet time with one of those. You know, you'd hide it in the wall or something. Yeah, but I chose just to go this way because it seems like having something that goes remote is more likely to break. You're gonna have to change batteries. It just seemed a little too fiddly for me, so I got one that is hardwired to the seat. It just is all connected to an outlet. Which, by the way, that is one of my cons with this sort of thing, is that you want your bathroom to have an outlet somewhere near the toilet. It does plug in. Mine, as you can see, does not. There is no outlet by my toilet. The only outlet in my bathroom is this one right here, and I didn't want to run a cord up around like my ceiling or anything to get to the toilet. So instead what I did is I ran a cord from there down the wall, and you see I put like a little cord hider over it so you can't tell, and then it goes all the way around, and whoa, behind that dresser is an outlet. So I keep it all hidden. That's probably the most difficult thing about this toilet, was just plugging it in. Over here, right under the seat, you can see that little dome-shaped thing. that is where the water jet is. It is protected, so when you're doing your business, you're not going to hit that. And if somebody else is using your toilet, you don't have to worry about like transference. There's basically like a little wand in there. The little wand comes out, and then it shoots water first into the tank as like a little extra cleanliness thing, and then it turns and then shoots upwards, so it gets you. To the side of it, you see that little flap. That is where the dryer is. So when you hit the dryer button, that pops open and a dryer shoots up towards your butt. One other con with this is that dryer, on this model especially, is not super powerful, so it's not going to get you like super duper dry. You might want to invest in a more expensive one, because that one will probably have a little bit more oomph to it. Mine is a budget one, so I find that it works, but you might want to either push it a couple times or use that with like a sheet or two of this baby boy right over here. Alright, so let's go into all the functions here. Mine is the most basic sort of electronic washlet. Ones with a dial will just have water that shoots up. This one has a few more features than that. We've got the stop button. If you're doing something you don't want to do, you push that, it will stop, you'll be okay. So that's like a panic button. Sometimes these buttons, sometimes these can be a little intense. You know, you want to make sure that you have a way out, and that is where this guy comes in handy. Also, this is pressure operated. So if you sit on it, it will work. If you're not sitting on it, look what happens. Nothing. Doesn't work if you're not sitting on it. Women and men have such different anatomies. We have a for her back and a for his back. These do very different things. When you push the for his back, a single stream of water just shoots straight up. So this one is like kind of like an enema function, which no. So I end up doing it lady style, and I push the for her back, and that one will shoot towards the back of the toilet, and then the for her front, that one will shoot out a little bit further up. Okay, so you can get both parts of the female anatomy with that one. The male anatomy, it's trying to like check your prostate. So yeah, I would say yeah, depending on what toilet you have, you might want to play around a little bit, see what works for you, and you can adjust some of the settings of the water pressure and stuff also once we get a little bit further, but we're not there yet. The dryer, you push that and it will dry your nethers. This is like the intensity of the water and the dryer. So let's say you push one of these, water comes out and is like coming out your nose, it's so strong, you can push that little subtraction sign there and it'll lower the intensity, or you can increase it if you'd like. You go back and forth, and that is for both the water and the heat. And it's a pretty standard thing. It'll be on like most washlets have that. And this is the nozzle position because everybody's body is different. And this particular washlet does have like a little memory chip in it or something, because it'll save what the last one used was. Over here we've got water and seat. These two buttons here are for temperature. So this is the water temperature, and this is the seat temperature. So one really nice thing, and even if you have no intention on using all of the ablutions here, if you want to just use the seat warmer, that I think everybody can get behind. Having a warm seat in the wintertime, that's pretty nice. And yeah, this guy right here, you push that, it gets nice and warm. And the energy saving, what it does is once you sit on the toilet, it'll warm everything up. And if you have that not checked, that means that the water and the seat will constantly be warm. Even if you're not using it, I think it keeps it warm. This one, it just makes sense to have the energy saver on, because I mean it's going to take you a second to have a transaction with this toilet. So you sit down, do what you gotta do, and then by the time you need either of these, it's going to be warm enough. So that's why that I always keep on. So one concern that some people may have is, I don't want water from the toilet shooting up at my butt. That's disgusting. The water is clean, guys. The water is not coming from the tank. That would be really gross. It's not coming from the bowl. That would be even grosser. It is coming straight from the wall. Here's where the water comes out. There's a little pipe, comes out of the wall. This is a turn-off valve. You turn this to the side when you want to install this thing, and I think you might need to drain the tank also, just so when you unscrew this to attach the toilet, you're not going to get water everywhere. So make sure you turn this off. If you don't have a little valve right here, you might have to turn off the water for your building, for your unit. This right here is a T valve. So basically, originally this little thing wasn't there. It was just this flexible tube. That flexible tube would go directly into that spigot down there. And what you have to do is you have to take a wrench, unwind it, and put in this T valve. That T valve creates two pathways. So here you can see the two pipes coming out of that T valve. The one on the top here, that's going to the tank. The one on the bottom, that goes right up into the washlet. I believe that there is like a small reservoir in the washlet that holds the water, so that amount will be warm. It is enough for, you know, one or probably like more than one use. So you could probably push that button a couple of times before it got cold. If you're going to hit that button over and over again while you're sitting on the toilet, that means that you have some sort of fetish, and this is not the use for this. This is meant to be used as a bidet. If you're going to use it for extracurricular activities, I'm afraid it will probably get cold. One thing that my toilet doesn't have that some of the really high-end ones do, or the ones in Japan I noticed have a lot, is that the top of the tank will be a small sink. That is another way to trick out your toilet. In Japan, there'll often be two rooms, one room for the toilet and one room for the sink and the shower. So having a little small sink makes a little bit more sense. So if like somebody is in the shower and you need to use the toilet, you can use the toilet and still be able to wash your hands. So that makes sense for Japan. And I can see like other parts of the world, maybe you have a bathroom and you don't have a sink in the room for some reason, or you're trying to save space and you want something that's going to be like all in one small unit. You can actually have a sink and a toilet all in one. Yep, so that might be too much information, but there you go. That is the bidet that I use. It's the one that I prefer. I've used a lot of different bidets in my travels. I've used the European one, I've used the Indian bucket method, I've used the hand bidet and all of that. And I'd say the one that I have makes the most sense to me. There are more advanced models that can be very expensive. Some cost thousands of dollars. The one I have was like, I think it was like $150. You can get like more budget ones that, you know, they do the job, they're fine. I like the fact that it has a heated seat. I like the fact that it has like different methods and warm water. Like that is, that's nice. If you want something that is like a sometime sort of thing, or you're on a budget, I would go for the one that's just a dial. Generally that is not warm water. It doesn't have a heated seat. However, it functions the way that you would want a bidet to function. It does what a bidet is meant to do, and they tend to be a lot cheaper. You can get one of those for less than $100. If you want something that is just like very simple, you don't want to really think about it, you don't necessarily want to use it all the time, hand bidet makes the most sense for that. You can put it there, no one will even know you even have it most of the time, and that's going to help you out in emergencies, or if you still want to use toilet paper but use less toilet paper, that would be a good thing to have. As I film this, there is the coronavirus going on right now. You might be watching this 10 years in the future and have no idea what that is, or maybe it has taken over the world. I don't know. But that's what's going on right now, and people are panicking, and that is what inspired me to make this video. I don't think people should have to feel panic over something that is just part of life. I know this is kind of going into a lot of gory details about your butt. Nobody likes that, but it is important to be able to feel like you can get by day without something that is as essential to people as toilet paper. You don't need it. You can get a bidet and do this and you'll be fine. And I think that this is a great thing even if you don't intend on using it. If you intend on using toilet paper, this is still good to have just for emergencies. So I would recommend people get a bidet. It's good for you, it's good for the environment, and it'll help you in times of need like what's going on right now. Alright, so I think that's about it. Thank you so much for watching, and please leave any sort of information below if you have any other tips that might help people out during a difficult situation. Put that below, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Oh! Sorry.